Welcome to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva del Rio. I'm the president and CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. And with me today, I've got Michael. Welcome. Appreciate you being here this morning.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, we faced some challenges here over the last several months. I want to thank you especially because you're really one of my first interviewees in about 3 months. With this whole COVID thing, it's been crazy, and luckily through our friends at By Broadcasting, we're able to do this remotely and keep our social distancing, stay safe, and still bring information to our community. So, Michael, you've been in the Verde. Great. You've been in the Verde Valley for quite a number of years, haven't you? How long have you been here?
Geez, we moved here when I was a kid. It was probably about 1980, I think, is when my family moved to the Verde Valley. I went to first grade here in Cottonwood at Cottonwood Elementary School, and have lived here most of my life in the Verde Valley. Went away for college and school and worked up in Flagstaff for a bit, but I love the Verde Valley, and so I've been here for a while. It's been kind of neat to see it grow so much over the last 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, it's definitely morphed quite a bit, right? I know I moved here in '94, and just in that 20 years, we've seen quite a few changes.
Yeah, it's been amazing, really, to see how much it's grown and continues to grow. There's really a good group of people here in the Verde Valley, which is one of the reasons I love living here.
Right. Yeah, I tell that story all the time that, I came from the San Francisco Bay Area. And so, very crowded, not so nice people all the time. But when I came here to visit, just driving down the street, we were staying with my in-laws at the time, and driving down the street and your neighbors across the street were waving to you and, saying hi. And I was like, geez, that doesn't happen in my neighborhood back home.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah. So, Gordon and Gordon Law Firm, right? Attorneys at law. So what got you into law, and why?
Well, that's a good question. When I graduated from high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And as I went to college, I was an English major. And I knew I didn't want to be a teacher, even though I think teachers are great, but I didn't think it was for me. And I have an older brother who's a couple years older than me, and he graduated from NAU and went to law school. And so I talked to him a little bit about it, and he really enjoyed what he was doing in law school, and it sounded like it would be kind of up my alley. And so I applied for law school and got in and went to law school, and I was able to clerk for a firm up in Flagstaff while I was in law school. And after I graduated, I was lucky enough to get hired, and that luckily kept me here in the area, and that kind of started us off. But I love being an attorney. And being an attorney, it gets a bad rap, I guess. Sometimes people don't think it would be that fun, but I guess it depends on what you're doing. And I enjoy it because you get to work with people and help people solve their problems. And anyway, it's new every day. There's always something different that comes around with each new case, and so it keeps it interesting.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're not the typical lawyer, I have to admit. I actually like you and everything that your firm does. Yeah, I know that was meant to be a compliment. Oh, Michael. So yeah, really, Gordon and Gordon has really stepped up over the years and helped the chamber in a lot of ways, and you guys do a lot of great things in the community, and I love seeing Facebook is a wonderful thing, right? Because I get to see and share you and your brother and your families, and you've got some really close ties here, and tell us how many kids do you have, and tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been married for nearly 25 years. We just celebrated our 24th anniversary, and got 5 kids. and they range in age from 22 to 9, so they're kind of
Wow.
spread out. You know, my oldest, Kaylee, graduated from Mingus, and she actually just recently graduated from ASU, and she's married and lives down in the valley. I've got another daughter, Olivia, who is a freshman at Northern Arizona University this year, and so we took her up to college. And it kind of blows my mind to see these kids grow up so quickly. But I have another, my son Carter is a junior at Mingus, and then I've got two younger ones. We have Luna and Nevin, who are age 11 and 9, and they're going to Camp Verde Elementary School. We're glad that they're back in school now. It's great to have the school back open, but it keeps you busy. But, you know, I love having a family. It keeps you grounded. Kids for sure will keep you grounded. It's great.
Right. Yeah. I was just sharing with you, I've got 4 grandkids, and I tell you what, they keep me going, you know, and, you know, there are days where I'm pretty tired, but it's well worth it, isn't it? Yeah. So how has COVID affected you guys? So you obviously, you said you got your daughters starting as a freshman, and the kids going back in school. Are you seen any hiccups, or, you know, what kind of precautions? Are you guys feeling safe about it?
Yeah, you know, it's gone okay so far. It was really hard when they were doing online school. I think that's you know, I'm sure they'll get better at that if this goes on longer, but that was a little difficult for them, and they're doing a lot better, I think, going back in person. That's been nice. For our office, we closed down most of the month of March and April. We just had really reduced hours and tried to limit the number of people coming in the office. And then beginning in about mid-May, we reopened to regular hours. And we still encourage people to talk to us on the phone rather than come in. We do a lot, and the courts have been great. The courts have allowed us to appear telephonically at hearings, and we use Zoom a lot. You know, I'd never used Zoom before until probably March of this year, and it seems like I use it every other day now. It's a great tool.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, those are some things that have changed. But at the same time, we've been lucky that it hasn't affected our business too much. I mean, things slowed down a little bit, but they've been picking up.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that's the thing, is we've all kind of had to make that pivot and adjust. And I've actually been quite proud of, you know, our entrepreneurs and merchants and businesses here in Cottonwood and the Verde Valley. They've really taken the charge and done what they can to make people feel safe and keep things clean and moving forward, doing the best for their business. So are you seeing, well, tell us a little bit more about Gordon and Gordon. So do you guys specialize in one area, or do you kind of, what's the wide gamut of services that you provide? Can you tell us a little bit more?
Sure. Well, you know, we live in kind of a smaller rural area, and so you have to be open to doing several things. You know, we don't have large institutional clients that we just work for one client. So my brother David's my partner. We work together, and we do different things. I do mostly real estate and bankruptcy and business law, and my brother David does mostly criminal law and estate planning. And you know, those are pretty much, that probably encompasses about 90% of what we do. We don't do any family law, you know, there's some other areas of law we don't work in. But for me personally, yeah, bankruptcy, real estate, business law, and that seems to be enough to keep me busy. I know my brother thinks my practice is dull compared to his. You know, his criminal cases are a lot more exciting than my bankruptcy cases.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good. We enjoy what we do.
Yeah, and you do a good job of it too. So so tell me, what are you seeing, you know, as far as your client base now, with COVID? Are you having to unfortunately deal with, you know, anybody that might be having to file bankruptcy? I mean, are you seeing some of your clients that are struggling? Can you tell us a little bit more there?
Sure. You know, unfortunately, because of the way things are with the economy and the pandemic, it has affected a lot of people, either people who were employed at businesses where they had their hours cut back dramatically, or people who have owned small businesses who have had to close their doors. And I think we're just now actually kind of coming into the fallout from all of that. I think for the last 4 or 5 months, people have been hanging on and kind of doing the best they can to get through these times. But I do unfortunately anticipate we'll have quite a few bankruptcy filings here as we head towards the end of the year, and it's really sad. But at the same time, sometimes things happen that are outside our control, and certainly a pandemic is one of those things that you can't control. And so, for our office, we just try and help people, make their way through that process. It's not a pleasant process, but there are ways that if you're in a lot of debt or financial trouble or just trouble with your business, our job is to kind of help walk them through that minefield and emerge out the other side. So I enjoy helping people with that, but I am afraid that, as far as bankruptcies and things go, that's probably going to get worse. There'll be more cases before there are fewer.
Right. Yeah, it is unfortunate. And I think you're absolutely correct. We're probably going to be feeling the repercussions of all of this over the next several months, 6 months to a year, I would think.
Longer,
We've seen a few businesses unfortunately have to close their doors as well. But thankfully you're here in our community and can help them. And like you said, things happen for a reason. There might be an opportunity to rebuild in another area. So, we keep moving forward, and that's the best we can do. So, Michael, so you've served your term on our board. We're getting ready to do another election coming up in the next month. You decided to re-up, and I appreciate that. What did it take to get you to re-up?
Well, it wasn't too hard a decision because, of course, you twisted my arm a little bit, but I enjoy working with the chamber. This has been my second time on the board. I served a 3-year stint, 5 or 6 years ago, and then had an opportunity because of a vacancy to serve on the board this time for a little bit. And it's just a great opportunity to associate with good people. There are so many good people that are involved with the chamber, and the board is made up of people that care about the community, and it's an opportunity for me to be involved in what's going on. That's one thing I missed when I wasn't on the board, is I didn't feel nearly as connected as to things that are happening in the community when I wasn't doing that. So that part of being on the board has just been a lot of fun for me and a really good experience. And so when you weigh that with the time commitment of being on the board, I think it's a no-brainer. It's a great experience, and so I certainly wouldn't mind continuing to serve in that capacity.
Well, we sure do appreciate it. You've been an excellent asset to us, and we're going to let people know that we're going to be sending ballots out here in the next month, and Michael is one of our candidates. Incumbents, and he's done a lot of great things for us here at the chamber, and we sure do appreciate your time and looking forward to you coming back on. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I told you it would go really quick. And few things we didn't really get to cover, but I would love to have you come back and we can talk some more and get to know more about Gordon & Gordon, and hopefully I can twist your arm a little harder and see if we can get you in that chairman position.
You have to twist it pretty hard.
Pretty hard. All right, Michael. Well, I do appreciate your time, my friend, and we will talk again very soon. Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right.